The History of the Lion's Tavern. Act 1. The Door Between Worlds. Welcome to the tavern, my friend. Come in, close the door behind you. The wind tends to follow the weary, and tonight it's howling like it carried you across more than just a road. Earlier today, my friend Alex passed through. He never stays long, just leaves his observations like breadcrumbs. He said the tavern felt restless, shifting its weight like a creature preparing for something important. He's usually right about these things. This place often stirs when someone special is on their way, and today that someone is you. Take a moment, look around. You're not the first to stand there, eyes wide, wondering how a building this old and warm could appear out of nowhere. Most who enter tell me the same thing. Lion, this tavern wasn't here yesterday. And they're right. You see, the Lion's Tavern does not stay rooted in any one location. It moves, it shifts, it slips through the seams of reality, resting wherever it is needed most. Some find it deep in a forest where no lights should shine. Others discover it between two alleys that were never there before. And a few, more than you might expect, swear they found it standing alone in the middle of a desert, glowing like a lonely lighthouse. The truth is this: the tavern exists between worlds, not entirely here, not entirely there, but in the quiet spaces where broken hearts whisper for relief. This place is a sanctuary for the tired, the wandering, and the souls who've forgotten their own strength. Come, sit with me, warm your hands by the fire. Let me pour you something gentle. Tonight I'll tell you the story of where this tavern came from and why you, of all people, found your way to its door. Act 2. The First Keeper and the Magic Between Worlds. Long before I took my place behind this bar, there was another who carried this great responsibility. He was known only as the First Keeper. His true name has faded into dust and forgotten legends, but the stories about him, well, those remain. Some say he was a wanderer who lost everything: his home, his hope, his family. Others believe he was a king who abandoned a throne out of guilt. But the story I trust most is this: he lived through a world-shattering calamity, a darkness that tore through villages like a tidal wave, leaving sorrow in its wake. He watched as people wandered aimlessly, carrying wounds so heavy they bent their spirits, wounds no one else could see. And when he realized the world no longer had a place for the broken to rest, he made a vow: if the world offers no refuge, then I will create one. And so he did. He built the first form of this tavern from remnants of forgotten stories, a brick from a fallen city, a place of laughter now lost, a wooden beam carved from the mast of a ship that never reached its destination, a window salvaged from a library swallowed by time and silence. Every piece carried a memory, every part held a wound. And when the tavern stood at last, glowing faintly from the warmth placed inside it, the keeper realized something vital. People in pain rarely walk into a tavern on their own. They believe their suffering makes them a burden. They hide their scars behind tight smiles. They wander between worlds, between who they were, who they are, and who they fear they might become. So the keeper made a decision. He performed an old, gentle magic, older than kingdoms, older than stories, older even than hope. He infused the tavern with a soul, and that soul, that warmth, became the heartbeat you feel right now in the floor beneath your feet. From that moment on, the tavern began to drift, not through forests and deserts alone, but through unseen pathways between worlds. It could appear in a dream, on a forgotten road, in the heart of a storm, at the edge of despair. Wherever a weary soul whispered for strength, the tavern heard it. But the keeper knew something else. This task would outlive him. He needed someone to carry the mantle, someone who understood loss, purpose, and the fragile courage of the human heart. That is where my story begins. How the lion found the tavern between worlds. There was a time when I too wandered lost, not lost in place, no map would have helped me, but lost within myself. I carried failures I couldn't forgive, memories I wished I could bury, regrets that weighed heavier with each season. I had forgotten my roar, forgotten my purpose, forgotten who I truly was. And one night, in the middle of a fog-covered road that didn't exist moments earlier, a wooden door appeared. This door. Warm light glowed beneath its frame, and the air around it felt like exhaling after years of holding breath. I opened it, and I stepped into this very tavern for the first time. The first keeper was waiting for me, old, tired, but with a smile that understood more about me than words could express. He poured me a drink and said only, "Rest, lion." So I rested, and when I awoke, he was gone. Only a letter remained, folded neatly beside the glass. It said, "I have carried this place long enough. Now the weary will come to you. Help them remember who they are." In that moment, the tavern's soul reached for mine, and I understood. This place, this warm sanctuary between worlds, was entrusted to me. It moves when someone is silently pleading for guidance. It appears when a heart is ready to break or ready to heal. Its door swings open when someone whispers, "I can't do this alone anymore." Which brings me to you, my friend. You did not find this tavern by chance. No one ever does. Something within you, something quiet, something brave, called out, and the tavern heard it. That's why Alex felt the shift earlier today, why the air grew restless, why the walls hummed like they knew someone important was coming. The tavern senses you. It recognizes your story, your pain, your hope, your strength, though you may not feel it yet. You are here because the tavern exists between worlds, and right now you are standing between worlds yourself, between the life you've lived and the life you're still capable of building, between who you were and who you're becoming, between your wounds and your healing. So stay as long as you need. Warm your hands by the fire. Let the quiet settle in your heart. Your story is not over, my friend. Far from it. And you do not have to walk into the next chapter alone.